this. Let's see.
Also, when you get a sec, I would like you to go to the main game of Xenoblade Chronicles 3. You will find something there that will make you that will blow your mind.
I mean,
it certainly blew my mind.
I think we could use this spot for something.
I heard it go around online, just I guess from seeing, like, I'm subscribed to channels like Game Explain, so I saw like some video recommended to me, like how to unlock the secret characters in main game after completing the DLC. And I don't know exactly who they are, but I have an idea of who they probably are. You know, I have a little.
I don't want to spoil it. Yeah, I don't want to spoil it.
Like,
but it definitely caught my surprise.
I have a little bit of a funny feeling. I grab this relic and make these ether slides and stuff first. But yeah, recommended Xenosaga game. Sorry that it took me a bit to get to that. Yeah, so originally it was Xenogears, which I think was on the PlayStation 1. And then they made Xenosaga, a trilogy of them. They originally wanted to make like 6 games in total, I believe, for Xenosaga, but they didn't get the chance to, and they rather than working with Bandai Namco on publishing on PlayStation, they later struck a deal with Nintendo, where Nintendo was like, hey, we're willing to publish for you and give you complete creative freedom, with the caveat that you make games exclusively for our console. And MonolithSoft was like, heck yeah, sign us up! And now MonolithSoft makes some absolute slapping games on Nintendo consoles. And even helps with their Zelda games. Like, they helped a lot with Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. I think they even helped a bit with Splatoon. Like, MonolithSoft joining up with Nintendo has been, like, one of the best things to happen to both MonolithSoft and Nintendo, it seems like. My goodness gracious. But anyway.
Push their company.
But I guess they couldn't do anything canonically with their previous titles, like, for sure set in stone, because it was published with a different company, Bandai Namco there. But considering it said special thanks Bandai Namco, and if that was the Xenosaga area there, and it directly mentioned a Xenosaga character by name, it's like, oh! Okay. Didn't they also help with Pokemon and Pokemon Legends Arceus? I don't believe so. If they did, I would have thought that Legends Arceus would look like a very different game. Oh, here's an affinity scene. Let's be real quiet as we watch the cutscene.
Matthew, this place.
Yeah, definitely. Just a thing.
We were going to build a second.
Hopefully no one will pay attention.
Her family and others came here to lay the
Oh, I found the place where the second city was going to be made.
There's not even a single city left anywhere. But I swear, I'll rebuild it one day.
Yeah.
In memory of Granddad.
Rebuild the city.
And all the other fallen.
Music's so good.
Yeah.
This is giving me Torna vibes.
I've been meaning to.
What, with the music slapping? Or just like, oh, the destroyed village and stuff. Like the
The
one
destroyed
on
village,
Gormott.
yeah.
Yeah. Like that one that was on Gormott.
That's, well, that sounds.
And the one that was on Torna too.
I'll think it
There's
over.
one on Torna too? It's been a little while.
I
remember the one on Gormott.
I think it's right after they meet up with Adam and Mithra. Oh wait, no, it's before.
There was like a destroyed crater there. Was it a village as well? I don't even quite remember. But I remember there was the
crater was
destroyed one on
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I remember the one with Gormott as well. Where they meet what's his face, the Emperor. And
oh gosh dang it, what was his name? I want to say Nile, but I think I'm just getting confused with this game now.
I think you're right. I think it is Emperor Nile. And what's her name? I already forgot her name. The
Bridget?
one, Bridget. Yeah, Bridget.
Yeah.
Morag's blade.
That was with them there, along with Aegeon, I want to say. Other guy.
Aegeon, yeah, the dude with the katana sword.
Yeah, the dude that was a rare, unique blade, but literally just looked like a generic common blade anyway. So dumb. So silly.
I think I remember that.
He just looked like any other common blade, basically.
Just from looking at his face, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the face gave it away.
Or the slides. Yeah, that I'll probably try to do Xenosaga, like, when I have space in the schedule. I'm probably gonna prioritize the things that have been on the to-do list for a little while and I haven't been able to get to. Like Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, like Fire Emblem Fates Conquest, you know, stuff like that. But I will definitely have Xenosaga up there a bit. I also gotta finish off the, you know, other stuff that I need to do with Xenoblade 3 here. Like, what the heck am I targeting? Gosh dang it, this is not what I wanted to target! Because I'm fighting this now. I was trying to target the birds right in front of me, and then they decided to go fight this bird that was around the corner that I didn't even see. There's a relic here. Anyway,
Chilling over there.
I'll try to do Xenosaga at some point because yeah,
I heard
am quite intrigued.
I heard that there could be Xenosaga ports coming to the Switch.
Oh,
There's a chance that that could happen.
that would.
I think Luxon mentioned it as well.
And in that perspective, it could be worth holding off on. I mean, who knows how many games are going to be left on the Switch because the console's been out for 7 years. You know, it's not like, surely it's not going to be that much longer until the next console, or at least like a Switch Pro. I guess they released the OLED, which wasn't even a Pro, which says that they want to keep going with the Switch a decent bit longer. But 7 years is around the life cycle of a console already anyway, so. It does make you wonder.
7 years is a while.
Because I'd be surprised if there was another Xeno-related thing on the Switch yet. Because Switch has been out for a while. I think the next Xenoblade thing would probably, or it's just Xeno thing in general, would probably have to be next console.
Oh yeah, easily, because that's how Xenoblade 2 came so popular, because as soon as the Switch came out, Xenoblade 2 was one of the very few RPG games that was on the Switch.
Well, it wasn't a launch title. It released in December of its launch year. But yeah. It was something soon after, so yeah, it was one of the first there. And gained some traction. It's crazy that the whole trilogy is on the Switch. Imagine if they released a collection at one point with all the things. Maybe next console release like a trilogy collection.
Expensive. That would be so expensive. Holy crap! Don't even give me that thought.
What, for the consumer or the producer? Because it would be a lot of data. They could always do like an Assassin's Creed thing where they you know, only have one game on it and then you have to download the rest or something like that. That's what Assassin's Creed has done with some of their collections on the Switch there. But man, imagine having like a Metroid Prime trilogy of stuff there. Who knows, maybe one day.
Would be cool, but very expensive.
Yeah. But yeah, it makes you wonder though. That looks like a thing over there. Maybe I'll try parkouring after I secure this first.
Also, I think the more interesting thing is the fact that it showed Numa's core crystal on Matthew, but it didn't show Logos' core crystal. Which makes, I think it just gives room for speculation that if N activated the Numa core crystal from Matthew's gauntlet, could mean that he has Logos' core crystal, since they're both technically connected in both Aegis core crystals, and it has the same aura, that he used Logos' core crystal to activate Numa's core crystal.
One can certainly wonder. I don't know where exactly to throw my hat in the ring in on this. Heard that MonolithSoft helped Game Freak with map design in Pokemon Legends Arceus and Scarlet and Violet. Well, I certainly didn't help enough. Twitter post. That's the case. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet credits the lead map designer is Noriko Ueno. MonolithSoft developer is also a landscape artist for Breath of the Wild. Interesting. Couldn't have guessed there. Not have been my guess. Oh, I can get that Ether channel.
Maybe the map designer, but not the graphics designer.
Yeah. Said make the map like this, but the actual details of the map.
It would have been so nice.
Yeah.
It would have been so nice.
Because I can say for certain that, you know, Pokemon Legends Arceus and Scarlet and Violet do not look like this remotely. In terms of, you know, how aesthetically
but then at the same time, if Pokemon looked like Xenoblade, it would just, I feel at the same time it wouldn't really fit too well, as you have these insanely amazing graphics that are like crazy, but then you just have Pokemon that still technically look a little cartoonish.
I just meant in terms of like generally the world looking good, not it being like the grandiose Xenoblade things is all I mean. It's just like the world not having those god-awful render distance and details all sucking. That's what I more so meant. How have I not gotten the points from these guys? No.
They could also just make it kind of like Xenoblade-ish, where rather than having it all being one open big world, they could just have it into parts or sections, like very large, massive sections, because I think that was one of their biggest problems too, is that it was all one open map and they couldn't really like add too much to it to make it look super good because it was all big enough already on one game. I mean,
Which
I guess
game?
Breath of the
Sorry?
Wild is different for Scarlet and Violet, but then I'm looking back at Breath of the Wild, I'm like, oh wait, no, they were able to make it happen.
There's a question mark now, and a big looking unique monster right on like the
boy.
very first area of the game where you first
This is
began.
giving me Tantal vibes.
Oh, of like go back there and fight some really tough things.
No, it's in terms of like the beginning of the game of Tantal. How the DLC was like in this one little narrow area.
You mean Torna?
Yeah. Torna, I mean, I don't know why I kept saying Tantal.
I was
I
like,
guess it's 'cause they
what
prefer
reminds
the
you of
cheat.
Tantal here? I was confused.
Yeah. That reminds me of the scene in Torna where Jin and Laura were fighting the beast in a
Yeah,
little dead-end corner area.
very similar beginning kind of area. Maybe that was what got, no, it couldn't have been what was merged into here because Tantal destroyed, I guess.
Yeah, it's already gone. Wait, no, isn't the world also created through their memories as well?
Maybe? Oh.
Yeah, no, I think it is. I think the whole idea of Ionios is like all their memories. Also, I think the world that was merged at the end, I think that is the merged world because something I also noticed. When the worlds are splitting apart from each other, you could see that they're both transparent. You could see like the background of space on the other side, but when the planet actually forms, it's like a completely solid planet. Like you don't see any transparency behind it at all.
All three of my attackers. Yeah, so that kind of hinting at that they split apart, but then they were able to merge together in like a way that made more sense there. But I mean, if they're made of different types of matter and antimatter, how would that have happened? Maybe something that there would be an explanation for in the next game if that is what happened? Maybe, who knows?
And it also brings up the idea of both Xenoblade 1 and 2 being pocket dimensions, as both of the worlds seem to be transparent, so you can't really see them all that well. So the fact that they're pocket dimensions from a much larger, bigger universe could make more sense as to why they're transparent. Because they're in pocket dimensions.
Kind of like Mira.
Which makes me
probably
wonder,
is.
maybe, unless Mira is actually still like a part of the full world, that it's so far away that it actually wasn't completely affected. As to why it didn't merge back with the other two worlds.
Well, there's no way then, because in the Xenoblade X world, Earth is destroyed, is the thing. Like, the very opening cutscene is Earth getting destroyed by that war there, so there's gotta be some sort of weird conduit thingamabob and it being involved in some way, and some sort of weird memory crap. I would imagine. I don't know. I do like how this DLC seemingly answered all the questions of Xenoblade 3 main game. But it also
it leaves room for more.
It made so many more questions. Gosh dang, I did not mean to complete this order. I got it exactly at 100. But it made so many questions about like the overall Xenoblade story.
Oh yeah, like where it's gonna go from here.
Yeah, and I guess there's also some other mysteries with the main game of like what the heck happened to Glimmer, Nicole, and you know the gang there. Considering that, you know, if Matthew is Van Damme, it's not like the main game is that far after, you know, the DLC in that case. So you'd think that maybe they'd still be alive, but old. Something, but
I wouldn't say it's too far, because the fact that there are people who still remember what they look like and made statues of them, and those statues are still up as of now, and they actually give pretty good visual representations of like the founders from the DLC.
Well, I mean, statues can be old. There are statues in real life that are hundreds or even thousands of years old. So I figured that it would have been from, like, long ago. Yeah. There's still some. Like when I was in
like the Romans.
Yeah, there's stuff like that. When I was in Italy and went to Pompeii, there were a decent few statues down there. Just because it was buried in volcanic ash for so long,
yeah.
it actually preserved it really well. So the statues there are still in like pretty good shape, just because the ash, you know, protected them for well over 1,000 years. You know, so You know, I kind of figured that the statues in the city would have been from like long ago, and barely anyone would, you know, actually know the
that's
story
fair.
there. Is what
I guess it
kinda
also makes more
figured.
sense. Because you just made up a good point as well, because the city was actually built, the city in Xenoblade 3 was actually built in the sword, but
Yeah.
from the DLC you see that like they actually haven't really gone to the sword, that they're rebuilding the city someplace else.
Well, I mean, Matthew Van Dam said that he was gonna go out, like, make some friends, we're gonna make a new city, and I guess down the line they decided to make it in the sword in that case. Must have been the case. Later came to that decision.
Maybe.
Punch. Killed with a Falcon Punch. Must have been the case, because I assume that that's what it was trying to reveal with that final line at the end. That Matthew was Van Dam all along. Matthew was purple guy. Not nice close-up game. Anyway.
Oh boy. I love chain attacks. They give so many close-ups.
This is quite rare.
Your amulet.
No, it's something I just realized now, looking back on Xenoblade 3. Didn't Nia say she was a part of actually helping form Ouroboros and stuff, or something like that?
Yeah, she helped with the whatever the heck. There's a whole bunch of mass signals that appear on the map afterwards. It was made with like part of her core crystal or something like that.
Then wouldn't have she been like mentioned or at least shown somewhat in the DLC story?
That's what you'd think. Oh, it's a level 90 unique boss. Yeah, I'm not taking that on right now. I'll pass on that, actually.
So it couldn't have been too long after that she went to sleep.
I guess so, but one of the things that also confuses me the most is... Oh, and there's a level 70 unique boss. Wow. That still confuses me the most is... If Mio really is Mia and Rex's daughter, as is implied, then that means that Granddad Gondor is Rex's grandkid, and that Matthew and Niall are Rex's great-great-great-grandkids in that case, or just two great-greats? I don't know. It's down the line a little bit. How the heck are Rex and Shulk still alive after all this time? And how much time would have needed to have passed, and what the heck? One thing I'm still confused on. Here's an affinity seed.
I think they were immortal. I think they were just immortal until the time came where they were able to defeat Alpha.
What is it all of a sudden?
Maybe granted some sort of mortality. Oh, this is a scene talking about the fight with Jin and...
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Walk through hell and high water, and gladly. So,
Why are you telling me this?
I just want you to know that you're never alone.
Okay. I'm not following.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. I've said my piece, that's enough for me. I'm pretty sure that's what she wants too.
Huh? That was actually really cute. Because this was the place where he made the promise to Pyra and Mithra to always stick by their side. So he just wanted to say that to his daughter here, that know that you're never alone.
Aww.
That was actually pretty cute.
Yeah, it was the scene where Numa was awakened, and
yeah,
it showed the scene where Pyra and Mithra showed Ion to Rex and showed him as like the whole.
Yeah, okay, that was a cool affinity scene. I like that. That was good. But yeah, is there anything else to like get through here? It's almost 2 in the morning. I have to be up at 6.
Oh please. Okay, then yeah. Maybe we could have like another follow-up stream and discuss more, because I think there's still a lot more that I want to talk about too.
We might need to, kind of make some bullet point ideas of stuff worth discussing, so that we go in with a little bit of a plan and stuff. But yeah, I'd be down for, just hopping into, doing some more side quests here while, discussing stuff out, as I've been doing here. I guess one thing that I can do before I wrap up this stream is, like, very briefly hop into the main game and, see if my ideas are confirmed about who it probably is. And from what I saw, I believe, of I think it was the Game Explained video that was like, how to unlock the secret characters, which said that there was 2 of them. Yeah, it's Riku. If it really is 2, it's going to be really, really unsatisfying considering there is a perfect slot for one more. And if they made 2, so they have to start a new page, it's going to be really irksome. I guess I'll go have a look.
Gotta keep track.
Title screen. Yeah, let's see here. I haven't hopped into the main game in like forever, it feels like. Let's go have a look-see. See what icons it
I think
shows.
another huge thing that confirms that the world before the Klaus incident in Xenoblade is also the world from Xenosaga, because I think I sent you a couple pictures of it on Discord, but the world that it shows in Xenosaga is the exact same that shows the overworld from the memory in the DLC story. It has like the tower, the city landscape,
I think you
and
said that you
everything.
sent me a picture, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see
That
here.
it absolutely confirms it, which is absolutely mind blowing. It's crazy.
Wait. Also, to DLC now has the Elvis Core Crystal. Are the title screens now for the main game and DLC the exact same, but the Orion Titan is whole in the DLC, and it's split in the main game? Let me just double check this. Brief back and forth, takes a little while to load. Let me just double check this here. Oh, big stretch from the doggy. Yeah, the Orion Titan is solid here. It's the case of Riku's there too. But then, in the main game title screen, it's split.
So something probably happened.
Maybe that was when Origin collided and destroyed the DLC landmass.
Origin crashed through. Actually, wait, no, wait, no. I just remembered the beginning of Xenoblade 3. There was a scene where it showed the entirety of Uriah getting like destroyed, like the annihilation event actually occurred on it.
Oh, so maybe that was an annihilation event that occurred a little bit later then.
Yeah.
Something. I guess
you just gave me the funny thought though for a moment that Origin literally just like it slid across the entirety of Uriah. It just made the indents.
It exploded a whole lot of the stuff around in the DLC area, destroying it as like the explanation for why it wasn't there. Was, I guess, the Great Chasm area that we saw Origin in the main game. It looks like the last place I was at in the main game was the statues and stuff here. So yeah, now I know that there's Glimmer, there's Nicole, there's Shulk, there's Nile, there's Matthew, there's Rex, and then yeah, 7th Founder is either Riku or A. Either way, make an argument for either one.
I think the most convincing one is probably Riku, as Riku wants to be known as a common variety not pawn and stay secret hiddenly.
I guess so.
Rather than being found as a founder.
That makes me wonder, like, what's going on with A here then? Hold on, let's see here. Characters, I guess I'll select heroes. And then, no, not that then. Class, no. Class here for my characters. I don't see any, like, things. Any silhouettes here. Is there a thing I gotta do? I guess there was that one video that was recommended to me that one time of like, this is what you gotta do to get the secret characters after the DLC, so I guess there's some way to do it that I'm not aware of yet, but it's gonna be worth coming back and trying that at some point here.
Indeed.
I guess that'll be a thing for next time in that case. I guess one thing that
like continue our discussion.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that first and then we can like discuss things over doing side quests and stuff. Hold on, I just want to reread these founder monument thingamabobs now with the context of the DLC. So, Nicole House Ortiz. In memory of the founder of House Ortiz and the city's liberator. Kavesi soldier, this founder was released from the flame clock system by the other founders. Henceforth, spent every last ounce of his energy for the cause to liberate the city as one of the first Ouroboros. Surpassing skill in mechanical engineering, Founder fought not with a blade, but with a weapon of his own fabrication. Yep. He's also responsible for laying the foundations of all the mechanical systems supporting the city to this day. Following the fight against Mobius, he poured the remainder of his days into rebuilding the city before finally perishing at the age of 80 years. Okay, so I guess, you know, Matthew was pretty darn old by the point that he was the Vandom that we saw here, and the others have kind of died of old age, but how he attained that feat despite his origins as a confessed soldier remains unexplained. Got this shoulder tap there, I guess. Glimmer is House Rhodes. Soldier of Agnes, this founder's fight to the death against the founder of Artis, a soldier of Kevis, was interrupted by a chance meeting with other founders. Freed from the bondage of her flame clock, she joined the fight against Mobius. Well, technically it was the fight against Alpha there. Although a soldier, the founder is reported to have been exceedingly gentle and kind at heart. Additionally, her skill in the healing arts greatly contributed to the development of medical science in the city in later ages. And irrespective of starting life as an Agnian soldier, she is said to have surpassed 80 years of age, though the way she achieved that remains shrouded in mystery. Can you see the core crystal if you look here? No, it doesn't show the, it shows like a cylinder kind of shaped bit. That's what it looks like. Yeah, you would not be able to identify it as the core crystal on the statue, though. Detail having been lost, I guess. Let's look at Shulk. House Reed. In memory of the founder of House Reed and the city's liberatrix, rather than the founder herself, the statue depicts the founder's mentor figure, standing as a sign of the deep reverence and devotion she felt for her teacher. So, I guess the Shulk and Rex weren't the mentors for their kids. Their kids got their own statues. So, rather than the founder herself, depicts the founder's mentor figure. Oh, so those two are probably, oh, I'm forgetting their names right now. But the kids of Charla Rhine and, Zeke and Pandoria, those two is probably the founders for these places then, right? Probably. So, the founder herself here would have been Charla's kid. That I'm forgetting the name of. Panacea was her name. Founder's master was unconnected to her by bonds of blood, yet he raised her as would befit a child of one's own, it is said. Though of a calm and constant disposition, the sight of him on the battlefield, great red sword in hand, struck fear into many a Mobius. And though the vicious struggle against Mobius cost this ferocious warrior his right arm, no, it was against Alpha. The loss did nothing to diminish his desire to hone his martial skills every day, standing as a vivid testament to his indomitable will. Alright, and then Rex here, House Cassini. In memory of the founder of House Cassini and the city's liberatrix, much like with the founder of Reed, the statue too depicts the founder's respected mentor rather than the founder herself. Yeah, so herself. So it was man, I'm forgetting her name, but Zeke and Pandoria's kid there that accompanied us as this character. No, Panacea was Charlotte's kid.
Oh yeah.
It was I'm forgetting right now. Mentor boasted a robust physique, wielding two great swords at once with utmost ease, and facing down Mobius despite the loss of one eye. He lived his life an unsophisticated sort, broad-minded but impassioned, and is said to have aided the founders in the fight against Mobius, physically and spiritually. He was further reported to have been a free spirit, whose qualities influenced the other founders, still young and impressible when the city was restored. Indelible proof of this rebellious spirit can be seen time and again in the ethos of the house in generations to come. Okay, and then Matthew here, House Van Damme. Yeah, so I guess you could have figured that from even like this statue before the DLC came out. So I guess this statue here is just like young Guernica Van Damme then? In that case, or maybe he's not Guernica Van Damme then. He doesn't have the scar across his eyes, so maybe it's a little bit further away. But his last name was Van Damme. He founded House
his
Van Damme.
name is Matthew.
Yeah. So like maybe Guernica Van Damme is his kid or something then. So it's not super duper far after, and I guess Riku is able to live a long time. I don't know. So, I guess, yeah, Guernica was just probably like his kid or something like that, or maybe even further down the line, and he would have seen the photo from Matthew and Niall and stuff. I don't know. Memory of the founder of House Van Damme, the city's restorer and liberator. The original incarnation of the city was once laid to ruin by Mobius N's hand. The founder realized fully the power of Ouroboros, heretofore limited, and fought against N, ousting him. But they worked together in the end. Once victorious, he gathered the old city's people, scattered to the winds, and reestablished the city. Also, speaking of them working together, and that bit at the end where N was like, oh, how are you gonna do it, oppose us and stuff with your short lives? And he was like, didn't you hear? Pass it along to others who might do it. Maybe it'll even be you, when N was one of the ones that helped the heroes right then in the main game. It was like, that was a cool touch.
Foreshadowing.
Once victorious, he gathered the old city's people, scattered to the winds, and re-established the city. Yeah, so him setting out there at the end. The city restored, he left its government in the hands of the founder of Doyle, and departed on a lonely expedition. Yeah, so that was the end there. No records exist of his fate thereafter. Heirs of Vandam's lineage only returned to the new city several centuries later. Okay, so there's several centuries different. It's not that soon after then. But, how the heck is Riku still alive then? Or Boris power shenanigans? Or maybe because
Probably not
he's...
affected by the flow.
Maybe. Maybe in a similar situation as like Rex and Shulk then if he's Ricky's kid. Oh. Though some people were brought into the system like Rex and Shulk's kids there. But not Panacea and what's-her-face. So why were, what the heck? Why were some brought into the system, but others not? Maybe it was just age range or something. I don't know, but I guess Nopon aren't part of the system, but I don't know what's going on with Panacea and... Oral tradition
There's
has
something
it.
else I noticed too. I'll let
Sorry?
you finish, but... There's something else I noticed too, but I'll let you finish.
Oh, I basically did.
Oh.
So what was it that you wanted to say?
So... I just realized Nicole may not be the only child that Shulk and Fiora had.
Is there someone else
because
that might fit the bill?
Chris was a character in Xenoblade 3 who was also like a mentor of Noah.
Like, he definitely gave vibes of that, yeah. So maybe...
And he also had long hair too, just like Shulk did.
I mean, he had blonde hair and
No,
stuff.
that's not that I'm saying. Not that I'm saying it.
I don't know
Shulk.
if personal preference of how long you grow your hair is like
Not that I'm
establishes-
saying that it is Shulk, nah. But it could be like a sibling of
Yeah,
Nicole, who is still just a part of the flow after all this time.
yeah.
And
Chris
because I don't think it would be a descendant of Nicole.
Chris definitely gave me some vibes like that as well, so maybe then. Oral tradition has it that the founder was a master of the classical art of fistfighting, and the scions of House Vandam carry on the custom to this day. And then there's Niall, with a really cool jacket, House Doyle. Memory of the founder of House Doyle and the city's Liberatrix, directly descended from those who established the first original city. Her whereabouts were lost after En's ravaging of the city of old. Upon encountering the other founders, she committed herself fully to the fight. This founder is said to have a familiar relation to the founder of Vandam. Scant extant records suggesting they were likely brother and sister. Yeah. She fought alongside the founder of Vandam then, was the elder of the two, and brought the power of Ouroboros to completion. Yeah, we saw that then. Said to have been bright and wise, this founder laid the cornerstone. Well, we saw a version of it at the end. I guess it wasn't to completion yet at the end, but you know what I mean. Said to be bright and wise, this founder laid the cornerstones for much of the city's government and legal system. And then finally, the Ouroboros stone. Ouroboros stone's cage. Object on display upon this plinth is the very first original Ouroboros stone's cage. It is important to note that initial designs for the monument are said to have included a statue of a seventh founder in its place. Next, no information remains about the seventh founder's identity, and it is possible that this is not due to a simple loss of records. Rather, historians speculate that this is the result of a conscious decision by the seventh founder. Huh. Interesting. Interesting. Said. So in terms of party members, there's Matthew, Noe, Shulk and Rex, Nicole Glimmer, Niall there. And then, yeah, I guess Panacea and What's-Her-Face are counted within these as well. And then Riku/A or whatever the heck was the central plinth. Huh.
I guess we now know that A wasn't ever really a console.
Yeah. I guess the slot was reserved there essentially as something that marks the beginning. I don't know. Whatever the heck there. I gotta go to sleep now. I was not expecting this stream to be this long. It's my goodness gracious.
Till the next Xenoblade stream, I will definitely share some information with you, I guess, through DMs that we could talk about for the next time we have our discussion.
Yeah. And this definitely isn't the last Xenoblade 3 stream. There's definitely more stuff to do with, you know, get those characters in the main game and stuff, and eventually Ascension quests and all that fun stuff there. So there's definitely reasons
More
to come
stuff to
back
do.
this. There's more things to do still. So the playthrough isn't over yet. But, man. That was
a lot of stuff.
That was a trip, yeah. Yeah. My goodness.
Hopefully you
Yeah.
can get some sleep on it.
Well, we'll see.
Well, you have a good night.
Okay, doke.
And thanks
Appreciate
for
it,
inviting
YouTube.
me.
Yeah, appreciate having you on there. Yeah, until next time we stream
Till
Xenoblade,
next
I
time.
guess. Thanks everyone who tuned into this series here, and until next time, goodbye.
It'll be epic.
It certainly will be.